Action.
Reincarnated, I was starving. Life goes on, I need a hug, mama, baby.
Good job, welcome back to the lab. For today's video, it's going to be all about the brand new Sony FX2.
And action.
Everybody with us? Any questions?
What it means to be a real filmmaker.
Storytelling is about having personal experiences. Oh, that was a good, satisfying pop there.
If it's your first time here, welcome to ASC. If you're already subscribed, welcome home. Today's video is a little different than usual. Sony Cine invited me to the ASC Clubhouse in Los Angeles for a masterclass with some of the best cinematographers in the world. And I brought one of my best friends with me, Zeek. And of course, I did that thing again, second guessing myself. Am I even supposed to be here?
Everyone belongs everywhere
Right.
if you're telling stories with pictures.
As some of you guys might know, I pull a lot of my inspiration from films and filmmakers. Even in my most recent Monaco video, I pulled inspiration from F1. I used the trailer as a reference. I always do this, I always download the trailers because I see the masters at work, right?
Yeah.
This trip was also a first look at Sony's brand new FX2, a hybrid cinema camera with a built-in EVF. Let's briefly dive into it. 33 megapixel full frame CMOS sensor, 4K up to 60 frames per second, 120 frames at 1080, 33 megapixel stills, S-Log3 with the base ISOs of 800 and 4000, tiltable screen, AI powered autofocus and framing, dynamic active AI based stabilization, 10-bit 422, 15 stops of dynamic range, EVF with a 90-degree tilt, CF Express Type A and SD card slots. It also features the Big 6 interface, which is carried over from the Burano and Venice 2. And throughout most of this video, it was paired with the 2870 f2 G Master lens. You can also film vertically now. Just flip and go. The orientation will automatically change. The optional XLR H1 handle adds expanded controls and supports up to 4 channels of 24-bit audio. I'm not gonna lie, before I even stepped through these ASC gates, I felt anxious. Breakfast was served, and right away I found myself in conversation with Alex, one of the ASC producers.
But we were founded in 1919.
Okay.
Officially, the ASC wasn't in this building until 1936, somewhere right around there. And before, they just were a small group that met up and originally called the Static Club to help solve the issue of static being generated through film cameras. Charlie Lieberman and some of the other instructors took a look at some of your other work and like, you guys are already way up there, so this will be kind of fun for them to learn what's going to best help you guys with what you want.
First up was Sam McCurdy, Emmy-winning DP for Shogun. He walked us through lighting and shooting on location. My biggest takeaway? The frame has to feel something. Every shot needs an emotional purpose. He builds a set of rules before every shoot.
If you keep hard and fast to your rules, you will deliver photographically, you will deliver the story that was on the page.
Sort of paint a picture of like what's going on here.
At the moment, we've got it with a PL mount. We've got it with a 28mm Hawk Class X. And we've got it built, obviously, in a studio mode. This is how we would have it built if we were working on set.
And he even gave us some insight on working in the industry.
I go in to meet everybody on Shogun and I go, look, this is what I got when I read the script and this is how I would do it. If you don't like it, don't employ me.
Next up, we got hands-on with the FX2, and I've been itching to film after Sam's masterclass. Next up was a session with Charlie Lieberman, a DP who's on the ASC Board of Governors. He walked us through lighting and shooting for stills.
Now let's put a little smoke into it.
So I set up my camera right next to his to match the exact shots he was creating. I rigged up the DJI transmission with the high bright monitor so you could see what I was seeing in real time. This is a more bare bones version versus fully kitted out. So it could look like this or it could look like this. One of my biggest takeaways was when he spoke on resourcefulness, something that's been core to my growth as a filmmaker.
And you will be a star if you could do artful work with little money and little resources.
Absolutely.
That's how you get a career started.
And you would have never guessed who I bumped into.
Yeah. This is
What's up, guys?
Potato Jet, you guys. We're here with Potato Jet.
At the ASC Clubhouse.
So what I learned recently about you is that you're originally from the Bay Area.
Yeah, Bay Area. Yay area? Do you still say that?
Yeah. This video is about this guy.
Oh.
And you spent some time with him.
Yeah, I got to spend like a week or so with it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Wait.
It's I think it's a good B camera, or if you were looking at an FX3, but you know it's a little out of your budget and you don't really care for the. Yeah, I think if you don't really shoot super high speed slow mo
Right.
or extreme low light, this is gonna probably perform better. This, you know, it's got some strengths and weaknesses compared to even the FX3.
Right.
I think in a lot of ways it actually outperforms the FX3. I did some side-by-side shots.
Okay.
And this has a 7K downsample to 4K, so it ends up actually looking sharper than the FX3.
In case you're curious about how the shutter sounded between the FX2 and FX3, I did a little test. Once I settled in and started creating, I felt like I was in the flow. I've always been curious what a traditional filmmaker thinks about someone like me, who creates for YouTube. So I asked Mark Irwin, a seasoned DP, and here's what he said.
You're already a legitimate filmmaker in every sense of the word. And if we were to turn the clock back 120 years, that's how Hollywood started, with people writing something and shooting it and rewriting and cutting it and dressing this set. It's the same elements. It really is. There's only two questions. Who is in it and what is it about? That's all. Now you can do it anywhere and reach them through YouTube. Don't look at YouTube and say, well, I haven't made it. You are leading the parade, leading the demographic.
Our final sessions were led by Claudio Miranda, who recently DP'd F1 in Top Gun, and Oren Soffer, co-DP of The Creator, which was shot on the FX3. Claudio broke down low light shooting, while Oren focused on lighting for portraiture. I always wondered how long it really takes to master this craft, not just to shoot it, but to see. So I asked Claudio about his timeline.
You know, I started in the business in '84, right? But I only started shooting in 2000.
Even after years in production, he was still experimenting, still chasing one more shot. That's what stuck with me.
Even so much so that after we were shooting, because we shot for, you know, a couple of years, you know, I still thought there was like, God, maybe I should just kind of explore the space and see if there's a couple rigs we can kind of build. So I built another special rig for the very final race. It's a new camera angle that I'm pretty proud of.
And Claudio's not just thinking about light or lenses. He's building whole worlds in 3D. It gave me a whole new respect for how much design goes into his process.
That's kind of my process. I work a lot. I mean, I work maybe different than a lot of people. A lot of people may not work the way I do, but I like kind of living in my little 3D world a little bit.
For sure.
And in a world full of LED walls and CGI shortcuts, Claudio reminded me that there's still power in shooting the real thing, feeling it, being there.
I think it's very visceral. I think that's the one people take about, you know, that we actually shot it. We were not in a volume. We're not in a synthetic environment.
Right.
And it's all just.
Yeah.
I think people will feel it, like in Top Gun. Like they felt like this is a real movie.
Some of the most meaningful moments this week just came from listening. Meg shared how she found her path, and you could feel how much it meant to her.
Growing up, I was told, you're creative, you're not technical, you know. I think a lot of women are told that, and I just sort of believed that I couldn't really do anything technical, but as time went on, I realized that if I'm really passionate about something, I can learn all the technical aspects.
For very well.
It interests me a lot. But yeah, it was like the first time that I saw a woman operating with an easy rig. It was like one of the first sets that I was ever on, and I was like still trying to figure out like what are the crew rules. Like I don't even know what they are, and I was like, I want to do that. I want to be her.
That's awesome.
Since this video is about the FX2, I didn't want to stray too far from that. Gerald spent a few days with the camera for his review, so I asked him, who did he think that this camera was created for?
I think it's a good YouTuber camera. I don't think that's why they made it, but does anybody like the cameras they do make for YouTubers? I never have any interest in. You know, like the little vloggy ones. I like a mid-tier mirrorless camera is normally where I'm at. So I know a lot of people that shoot A7 IV, some people that have had overheating and stuff like that. I think this will work well for them.
We closed out the day with the final dinner at the ASC Clubhouse, a full circle moment. I got to meet more members, share stories, and just soak in the energy of the space. Alex said something that really hit home.
The coolest thing, and everybody says when you walk out of here, it just feels like a family. They're the most genuine people. They're willing to share anything, give you their number, like, hey, email me, I want to keep in touch. Like, I'm, here to help however I can. Got it. That is the heartbeat of an ASC member.
I love that. Family.
I felt so comfortable by the end of it, I even started practicing my acting. Something I never thought I'd do in a room full of DPs. But that's the kind of environment this was. Safe, creative, and inspiring. One of the most personal moments for me was opening up to Sam about growing up in Oakland, and how back in high school, making short films with my friends gave us a sense of ownership, like we finally had something that was ours. He looked at me and said,
That's when you know you're a filmmaker. When you need deliver something to yourself that makes a difference. That's storytelling, that's filmmaking.
And that's what today was all about. Not just the gear, not just the technique, but the reminder that telling your story matters. I'm still working on my feature, My Life Oakland, and an experience like this makes me feel like I'm one step closer to making that dream real. I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Sony Cine and ASC and everybody that was involved in putting this together. I'll never forget it, and I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity.
Back from the City of Angels.
Yeah, got to go and visit ASC. They gave me a cinematography Bible.
Oh,
yeah,
that's great. Step, straight left. Bop, bop. Good. Double. What did you eat today?
Greek yogurt.
That's it?
Yeah. I met the guy who made this tripod.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he's a YouTuber.
Oh, nice.
His name is Potato Jet.
Potato Jet.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.